No, so if they're busy, let's move to the next one. It's available. I mean, we'll leave us on the show. No, I'm not filming it. I'm just filming it because it's you. But I'm not gonna replicate it.
All right, stand by. Let's go, studio. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. We are with members of the JAHJAH Foundation and their volunteers here at Little London Methodist Church in Little London, Westmoreland. And we're going to be hearing now from another of the medical professionals, this time Dr. John Thomas, Jacobi Medical Center, New York, senior resident. Dr. Thomas, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Wonderful. That's good to know. How did you come to be a part of JAHJAH Foundation?
Yeah, so, I'm doing my medical residency in the States, in New York, and one of our attendings at Jacobi Medical Center is the founder of JAHJAH, Dr. Trevor Dixon, and he's been a great mentor and a great help in my own medical career, and has also encouraged me to come on this trip and just to see and to help and try to help the people of Jamaica.
Why did you choose medicine?
Well, for me, so I'm also a child of the Caribbean. My family is from St. Kitts, and so lots of chronic medical issues in my family. Growing up in my community, watching people kind of fall to the wayside and not getting the kind of care that they need from people who look like me. And so that kind of inspired me from a young age. I was like 7 or 8 when I decided I wanted to become a doctor, and I kind of just followed through all the way. And so here we are, however many years later.
What has that journey been like for you?
Wow, extremely rewarding, difficult. School certainly wasn't easy. I think just being able to draw on the strength from my community, from my family, and sort of that pushing me along through the process, through all the exams, and the difficulties that come with it. And then now being in a position where I can help people less fortunate than me, not just here in Jamaica, but also even back home. There's so many people who, are kind of the pariahs of society and don't necessarily have the wealth and the means to receive the best health care. And so now for me to be on the other end of the spectrum and being able to help people from backgrounds like mine is just a huge it's just very encouraging and kind of restores the soul and brings you back from all of that hard work and makes it worth it.
Yes. So what has the experience been like here in Jamaica? Is this your first time joining JAHJAH Foundation in this kind of work?
Yeah, this is my first time here in Jamaica, first time here with JAHJAH. It's been an extremely enlightening experience. Again, I'm accustomed to seeing people without back in the States, but this is different, right? It's a different community, it's a different level of circumstances, people who are in much more dire need. And so being able to fill the gaps and just being able to see people, sometimes, I've had so many patients who not even here necessarily for a service that I can offer them, just to have somebody they can talk to and listen to them and sort of see how they feel and how their life experience is. It's been a huge sort of, boon to me, and again, kind of helps restore that soul and put you back at the heart of why you're doing this kind of work. Because at the end of the day, it's people. It's not just, for the prestige of being a doctor. It's not just about the money. It's not just about all the things that come with it. But at the end of the day, you're dealing with an individual who has their own life experiences, and you're able to sort of help them along their journey in life. And that's really the best part of it.
Yeah. And what gives you the greatest sense of satisfaction?
I always say this even back home. I love old West Indian ladies. There's just something about being able to sit down and talk to like somebody who's seen it all, done it all. They're always gracious. They always want to help, and just the sheer gratitude that a lot of those kinds of patients have for you. For me, that makes my heart smile, and even when the days are rough, that kind of keeps me going.
All right. And how often do you get to go to St. Lucia?
St. Kitts. It's been a long time. I haven't been back since I was in high school, and I'm like, at this point, I'm like 12 years removed, 11 years removed from high school, so it's been a while. Just because, with all the studying and everything, but I'm trying to make a trip this year, so looking forward to seeing all my family and extended friends and all that.
All right. And in terms of your time here in Jamaica and the experience, anything stands out for you?
Anything I think it's really just the people, man. I think just the sheer gratitude that people have, for you to just take the time and, really, again, sometimes it's just listening to them and seeing what their experience is like. I think just the outpouring of love, the amount of people who are giving well wishes. I've had people who, after I talk to their children, they want to pray for me, pray with me, give me a Pepsi, you know what I'm saying? So just the gratitude, being able to see how people show love when you give love is, again, it all comes back full circle.
And what will you remember most in this experience when you head back home?
That is tough. I think I'll remember the most. The food. Oh man, I've eaten so well this week. God bless the people of Jamaica, man. They have satisfied both my soul and my belly, so I can't complain. It's been a good week.
Yes, man, it's been good talking with you. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. God bless you.
Bless you too. Take care. That's Dr. John Thomas.
Next is...
All right. So we're going to move now to our next guest, and that's Brianna McIntosh. Hello, Brianna. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I am doing well, thanks. And where are you from?
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, but I call Negril home.
That's interesting. Tell us some more.
So I'm the president and CEO of Cornerstone Jamaica. We are a nonprofit that is based in Westmoreland, and we do a lot of different programs, specifically See Better, Learn Better, which is a vision screening program. And I've been coming to Jamaica for over 10 years, and Negril has been the place that I come to the most, so that's why it's home.
Do you remember what started this love affair between you and Jamaica?
My first time here, my friend jumped off the cliffside on the West End, landed on a jellyfish, and got stung. So my first trip, we ended up at Sav Hospital. And from there, my love of public health and healthcare, which was always my passion and my path, solidified Jamaica should be the place that I want to do that in, just because of how great the people treated us at the hospital. My brain literally sparked that next day. I wrote on the back of a Caribbean Airlines napkin a plan for a comprehensive health center that had mental health, social work, dental, vision, everything. And that's still my long-term life plan. But part of everything I do now is to get to that. And it all started back in May 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you've just begun, in a manner of speaking. Yeah.
Very much so. I've just begun. I've been with Cornerstone Jamaica since 2019. I became the CEO in 2021. I'm a public health researcher by training, a community organizer, and I love giving my passions and my skills and my assets back to this country. I also love working with other Jamaicans and being able to empower each other and uplift each other and work together, because we're not as strong alone, but we're stronger together.
Oh, pretty well said. What is it about Jamaica, though, that gets your attention so readily?
I just think that it's the people. The people are so friendly, open. No matter what part of the island you go to, if you get lost on the road, someone's gonna give you directions. And it's been so good to me. And sometimes it's tough. I know what it's like to go to the tax office and wait in the company's office and all those things. But I also know that this place is just beautiful. It's resilient. The weather can be very hot. But at the end of the day, we all go home with bellies full and hearts happy.
Another beautiful line. You do literature?
No, I don't.
The language, It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Right. So. Right. So your organization. Just for the uninitiated, for those who don't know, just enlighten all of us, in fact. about your organization, Cornerstone.
Yes, Cornerstone Jamaica's mission is to bring people and resources together to improve community health and education across Jamaica. Right now we're focused on Western Jamaica, Westmoreland and Western Hanover, but we have goals and aspirations to spread our model and our work across the island. We love working with other groups, and that's why we're here today working with JAHJAH Foundation. This partnership began over COVID. We supported some of the response back for COVID with the team that was at Salvamar Hospital, and that was very special to me because that was the first place that kind of started my love for healthcare in Jamaica. And since then, it's just, you know, I saw that they were doing health fairs in Negril and Little London. I said, okay, this is Cornerstone Jamaica's catchment area. This is where we focus on. Our members are from here, so we wanted to give back as best as we can, and we can support JAHJAH this way.
Oh, lovely. Long may this relationship continue. I'm sure that's part of the plan, just to keep connected, stay connected.
Yeah. Next year for the health fairs across the island, we're hoping to add pediatric and adult vision care, which is what our organization does. So See Better, Learn Better is across 15 schools here in Westmoreland and Western Hanover. We're a comprehensive eye screening program where the children get custom frames, prescription glasses, so nothing's reused or recycled frames or lenses. The child gets to pick out their frame, pick out their glass, and then we have it returned to them without about a month's time. We have so many children. We've screened over 13,000 children over the last 5 years, and approximately 1,400 pairs of custom glasses. And then we see those children every single year. So we're providing annual care to the same schools, and we follow up. So by the time that they reach secondary school, they've been through our program for a number of years, and we're able to catch their any vision issues. The other thing is, if glasses alone cannot fix their vision problems, we have a network of on-island ophthalmologists and optometry clinics that we make referrals to. We cover the cost of that transportation to their first appointment, so kids can get to Bustamante and Kingston, have that appointment, be able to see what's going on, what type of surgery might be needed, and then they come back and we follow up with them.
Wow, sounds like a lot of work, and as a former Prime Minister once said, it takes cash to care. Where do you get the cash to care?
So right now we're funded specifically through grants of different foundations and individual donors. We want to expand that and welcome corporate sponsorships, especially from corporate Jamaica. We really feel like that's a really great way to engage and give back to your community. At the same time, anybody overseas, Canada, UK, US, if they're interested in supporting vision specifically, they can get in touch with Cornerstone Jamaica to see if that's possible. Yes, and our website is www.cornerstonejamaica.org, and you can find us on social media at Cornerstone Jamaica across Instagram, Facebook, and our YouTube page as well, where you can see some nice footage of what we've been doing.
Sounds good. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's nice talking to you.
Likewise.
All right,
Take
thank
care.
you.
Bye-bye. All right, Cornerstone. Well done. All right, so here's a quick look at the sponsors. So let's tell you who the sponsors are. The American Friends of Jamaica, Catherine's Peak. This is why, let's just take the break because we've gone past the break by a couple of minutes, so we'll come back in just a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:33 on, I beg your pardon, 2:33 on Power 106.
It continues to be all smiles at Wellington.
Normally in
Dental.
studio I use this as my timer, but
Filling, whitening, and other dental services.
Okay.
There's wheelchair access and an exciting play area for the children. Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Telephone 876-984-5482 or 876-749-3515.
you can just switch it on the other, right?
Welcome to the new dimension in eye care, the Optical Zone, offering exceptionally comfortable eyewear, refill prescriptions, and do eye examinations. This complete optical store is conveniently located at Shop
What are you
14,
suggesting?
York Plaza, Halfway Tree. Telephone 929-8656. The Optical Zone, providing vision
Under
for
the
life.
tent?
No, the tent is front. Right here's the best spot.
Tis the season and One Spot Media has a special special gift for
Come on,
you
son.
and your family. Get 30% off or 6 months subscription plan and receive 1 month free special access to Gleaner Premium. Dive into this world of exclusive content from live TV,
Yeah.
live radio, thousands of hours of video on demand,
No, but it's whether the cable.
events, podcasts, and more. Simply log into one
Yeah.
and purchase the 6 month subscription plan. Get in with the joy of holidays.
Yeah, because the,
Offer ends January 31. Conditions apply.
thanks. If you want to, if you're able to, please. Thanks.
John, look here. Where am I? I want to hear.
Where has the police?
Here, let the driver drive up. Let the driver go look. Come up here. Driver, go look. Come up here.
Wow. Greetings.
3 minutes. You're right here. You're right here. So you're right So I'm gonna believe in Patrice.
Next is Dr. Gael Serafin.
Patrice, I'm gonna believe in you. So that you know what to do. Okay, stop. But don't forget, they don't talk anytime you can say something. Right.
Let's go, Steve. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And a couple of moments ago, we were going through the list of sponsors, just to give you an idea of the amount of support that the JAHJAH Foundation has been getting. The American Friends of Jamaica, Catherine Speak, Grace Foods, Cuckoo's Place, Springboard Incubators Inc., Travelers Resort, St. Thomas Renaissance Foundation, Jam West Beach Club, Cornerstone, Dennis Shipping, and Colgate. Those are sponsors. The partners are Jacobi Medical Center, that's in the Bronx in New York, Global Ultrasound Institute, is it? Yes. Negril Chamber of Commerce, Ministry of Health, Southeast Regional Health Authority, Friends of Ulster Spring, and of course, Power 106 FM. So we thank you very much for your listenership and support. And it's time for us to speak with another of the volunteers. And this time it's going to be Dr. Do you say Gael or Gail?
Gael
Gael.
Serafin.
Dr. Gael Serafin is how it's spelled, but I suspect that this is a foreign name in terms of another language. And maybe Dr. Gael can help us in that regard in terms of just confirming. No, I have a thing with names, you see.
Yeah.
So I like to find out the origin and the proper pronunciation, etc. So, tell me if I got it right then. Dr. Gael Serafin or Dr. Gael Serafin?
Yeah, actually that is the proper pronunciation. It's a Haitian name, so Serafin would be like the French basis of it. But since I grew up in Haiti and I'm from Haitian parents, so that's the name, Serafin. That's correct.
Merci beaucoup, monsieur. All right, so let's talk about how you got involved and why you got involved and when you got involved. You get it?
Oh, so basically I got involved sometime last year. I'm currently a resident emergency doctor at the Jacobi Medical Center in the Bronx, and work together with Dr. Dixon, who's a supervising doctor there in the emergency room. And He's been promoting JAHJAH for the longest over the past year. He told us very early on that he was going to be having this medical mission trip here in January. This was back in February, and I decided right then and there that I was going to go.
Okay. And is there a particular aspect of volunteerism that has piqued your attention?
I mean, just to be here and see patients, in a primary care with a primary care emphasis is enough for me because as an emergency doctor, yes, a lot of the things that we deal with is acute medical issues, but at the same time, we're seeing patients who probably hasn't had any medical attention in a very long time, especially in New York City. That happens all the time. We see patients who don't have a primary care doctor. We see patients who haven't seen a doctor in over 10 years. So it's very easy for us to really assimilate the same type of approach that we would take in the emergency room. When we come here, we see patients for the first time, and we can determine if the patients need to see a cardiologist, if they need to see an endocrinologist, if they need to see a doctor that is going to help them with their stomach, whatever it is. We're able to make those decisions every day. So it's pretty much very, very easy to come and do that in a primary care with the emphasis on primary care.
Is this your first time in Jamaica?
It is my first time in Jamaica. I've never been in Jamaica before. I grew up in Haiti. I would hear about Jamaica all the time. And even when I was in New York, I lived in Brooklyn for a while. There was a lot of Jamaicans there, and they would always talk about their countries. But I've never been in Jamaica, so I'm very happy to finally make it.
And how much of the country have you seen so far, considering all the work that you and the other volunteers have been doing already?
I mean, it's only been 4 days. I'm pretty sure, I've seen it just a little bit compared to extensive parts of the country that other people probably have seen. But I've been to Kingston. Now we're in the Grill. All of that stuff to me is great. I'm having a lot of fun just visiting and sightseeing.
Mm-hmm. And where do you get your energy from? I mean, that energy that says even when things seem rough and you're having issues and you it's almost that you can't cope. How do you deal with that kind of a day?
Oh, I mean, that to me, that it's basically with the leaders that we have. I mean, we have a lot of leaders here. We have a lot of doctors with a lot of experience. We have a lot of dentists with a lot of experience. We have a lot of nurses that have been doing this for over 20 years. I mean, it's very easy to do this, especially when you have people that you could actually follow orders from. They can especially help you and give you that guidance and direction on what you're supposed to do. So it's very easy to work together. And it's a lot of us here, so it makes the job much easier for sure.
Any standout moment or moments for you in the time that you've spent in Jamaica so far?
Yeah, I would say yesterday we were in Wednesday night. Yeah, Wednesday night as we were coming here, we ran across 2 accidents on the road. And as you guys have to understand, we're emergency medicine doctors. I mean, this is literally what we do. We take acute cases and make decisions and save people's lives, on a daily basis. So it was very much second nature for us to actually stop the bus and get off the bus and actually help the people who were in need. And there were 2 major accidents. One was like a car accident where the car was actually flipped over, and there was 2 people on scene. And another one was a young gentleman who was on a motorcycle and got hit and was on the side of the road. And pretty much we all got out and we did what we actually do on a daily basis and stabilize the patient and help with transfer to the nearest hospital.
And based on what you have seen and experienced, what would be your word to those listening, having heard this situation of which you spoke a while ago?
I mean, I think our mission, we say it, but also it comes in practice. I mean, it's really partnering to improve healthcare and education. I mean, that's really what we stand for. That's what JAHJAH is all about. And I think we've done that because as we've been here, we didn't hesitate to partner up with people. We didn't hesitate to create teams and make sure that, every people who come here to see us get seen. And I think that's the most important thing. Whether you're a medical doctor, you're a dentist, you're a nurse, or you're a tech, I mean, that's really what we're all about. We work in unison to actually bring help to people, and that's what JAHJAH is all about.
And is this the professional career that you dreamt about?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, especially as a man of color, and a doctor. Some things are just great responsibilities, and being part of a medical mission. That's some. It's just like a natural and instinctive thing to do. I mean, you always want to go and help your people, whether it's at home or abroad, and this just happens to be abroad. I mean, that's what JAHJAH is all about. Jamaicans abroad helping Jamaicans at home. I mean, being a doctor of color, it's just a calling. I mean, you just have to do this.
Well done. Keep going, and all the very best.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, take care, Dr. Gaël Serafin from Haiti, another member of the team of volunteers for JAHJAH Foundation. There's more after the break.
You're listening to Pro 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
the Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLaren. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLaren. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
This segment during both sides of the story is sponsored by the Optical Zone.
So, Dr. Michelle Sachet?
Yes.
Sackett. Okay. Thank you very much. I'll do my best to remember that.
No, the paper.
Okay.
It's okay. I really don't. I don't mind. Crayon out after me. Nikolai's Nikolai. Yeah, so and then crayon. Yeah, but I'll number if he's available, then he'll go after Nikolai. But so kind of because some of the patients are such. I was actually thinking. But I asked them. No, I asked them if you were. I asked. Sorry.
Good to go.
Anybody else? First off,
So who's next?
so 5 is
Oh,
here.
Dr. Sackett.
And 6
Okay. Let's go, studio. Thank you so much for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. We're live at the Little London Methodist Church here in Little London, Westmoreland, Jamaica. It's all about the JAHJAH Foundation, Jamaicans at Home, Jamaicans abroad helping Jamaicans at home, JAHJAH Foundation. And we're happy to be covering their Mission 2024, their medical mission 2024, which started on the 14th of January and ends, is it today or over the weekend? Over the weekend? Today. It ends today. And it's been a lot of work, as I'm sure Dr. Michelle Sackett will tell us, emergency medicine physician. Good afternoon to you. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm doing well. How are you?
I am fine, thanks. And where in the world are you from?
I am from Portland, Oregon, but I've been living in New York City for over 10 years now. That's how I met Dr. Dixon. I trained at Jacobi Medical Center and met Dr. Dixon there, and I got involved with JAHJAH through Jacobi uniforms.
What has that experience been like for you?
I mean, it's been a very, very rewarding, honestly wonderful experience. This is my third time in Jamaica with JAHJAH, and I'm gonna keep coming back.
I was about to ask you, what keeps you coming back?
The people. I mean, Jamaica's an incredible country. Jamaicans are wonderful people. Everybody is so kind and giving and wonderful, and it's just really nice to be able to give something back.
And for you, what area do you specialize in?
Emergency medicine.
And is this the profession that you dreamt of?
It is, because it enables me to do work like this, to travel and try and help out wherever I can in whatever circumstances. So it really enables us to be flexible and do that, which is what I enjoy.
What stands out for you as you've traveled across the country, interacted and engaged in conversation with the people, the patients, etc.? What has that whole experience been like?
I mean, I've been incredibly impressed with the providers here in Jamaica, and not only the missions where we travel from coast to the world, but I also did a COVID relief mission spent on our hospital in 2021, and I'm so impressed with all of the Jamaican providers. Just really, really talented and exceptional providers. But there's definitely a need for more coverage, more people, especially in rural areas. So it's really rewarding and great to be able to stop and help out there, help fill in the gaps as we can. But it's also been really, really great to work with the other providers to kind of help keep things going. CPR training, ultrasound training, sharing knowledge, and just trying to keep things going.
Yeah, keep it going. And in terms of your outlook, what is 2024 looking like? I mean, how has 2024 started, and what do you make of that in terms of what kind of year this is likely to be, in general terms?
Louder. Definitely better than 2020. Last time I was on the mission was the start of the pandemic, so definitely off to a better start. But I think a good start. Definitely think a good start. Everybody, for the most part, seems to be well. We're not dealing with the pandemic on the same level that we were back in 2020, and I have a great feeling about 2024.
Wonderful. Well, we have a great feeling that you're going to keep on doing great things. Well done. Congratulations and all the best.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. Take care. So that's Dr. Michelle Sackett, emergency medicine physician, sharing her story here on both sides of the story on Power 106 FM. And that's going to take us now to Nikolai Bo. Nikolai, how are you?
Good afternoon.
Okay, good to talk with you, and curious to find out what your experience has been like for this JAHJAH Foundation Mission for Change 2024.
To be honest, this mission has been unforgettable and really special. It is really close to home, and it gave me a chance to really bond with my country people and just to embrace a better 2024 for each and every one from a medical perspective.
Oh, so based on what you just said, it means this is home for you, in a manner of speaking?
Yes, Jamaica is my home. But I came from Greenwich Town in Kingston, and I went to Arden High School, so I spent majority of my years in Jamaica thus far.
And what's your area of specialization?
So I recently graduated undergrad. Doctor, which is my mentor. I'm planning to apply to medical school this cycle, and I aspire to be a chronic thoracic surgeon.
And how has it been so far? Have you gotten to the stage yet where you feel like you would want to throw in the tunnel, I beg your pardon, the towel?
So I've seen a lot of intense cases, and it's really embraced me to pursue my dream, and I feel like I can do it. I've been in situations where I've seen it firsthand, and it's really a special moment as well, and it gives you a deeper appreciation for medicine in general, and to respect medical providers.
Yes. And what can you tell us with respect to how your parents and guardians, parents and or guardians feel about how you have done so far? I mean, did you surprise them, or were they expecting it?
So my family is always expecting me to go and do great things, but they really appreciate the magnitude that I'm trying to push it and trying to develop Jamaica, because I'm an advocate for Jamaica first before pursuing medicine, and I just feel like I'm on the right path.
Is there a particular theme of your advocacy in terms of what would you be advocating for?
So I think my mantra would be one motion, one movement, one tribe. I feel like everything should be done as a team, and each one have their role, and I feel like that's the best way to do it, fast and consistent.
And so you've been going across the country as well, or just here in Westmoreland?
So I've been on a mission trip since it started this year, since Monday.
And anything that jumps out at you that has gotten your attention?
I mean, besides from Jamaica being a beautiful island, just the raw passion that the patients give to us, they're really grateful. You can see that they're really appreciative of what we've done for them, and it just motivates us to do the best we can each and every day and try to develop as well.
And what of your colleagues? I mean, what is that general energy like? I mean, 100% support, or otherwise, in terms of, there's a tendency for good friends to cheer on their fellows, and to sort of get a sense of energy and thrill in support of. I'm just wondering, what has that kind of spirit been like? I mean, have you been feeling it, or people have just been quietly going about their business?
So the general motion so far is everyone is willing to be a mentor for me. Everyone has given me their contacts, ways of reaching to them, put me in different situations, unique situations, even at the clinic so far, just to give me a chance to broaden my experience, and just to give me a chance to know who I am or what I can become potentially. So I'd say I have 100% support from 100% of the team members.
Absolutely. Well done. Well, congratulations to you on the tremendous work that you've been doing. I'm sure it didn't take you long to say yes. How did this relationship begin between JAHJAH Foundation and you?
So I really met Dr. Dixon at the beach in the summer, and I was talking about medicine to someone, and he reached out to me, and he became a mentor after that, and it's just been a great experience thus far.
Well, it's been a great experience talking with you, and we want to wish you all the very best going forward.
Thank you.
All right, take care. That's another of the hard-working volunteers of JAHJAH Foundation, and that's Nikolai Bogue, and he's from right here in Westmoreland. Isn't that something? That's quite good. Let's go to the break and come back with more in a moment.
The preceding segment, during both sides of the story, was sponsored by the Opticals of contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact coast-to-coast Uber companies for high-quality concrete products. The time by coast-to-coast Uber companies is 3 o'clock.
So Dr. Priya.
You can just say Wick for the last name.
No, it's not a problem. I love names, actually. Dr. Priyan Wickramasinghe. Wickramasinghe.
Perfect.
It's
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka. Are you a fan of cricket as well?
Not as much as my dad, but yeah. I know it's very popular here in Jamaica.
Oh yes. Although there's some controversy over that recently.
Oh yeah?
Because we should have had at least one match hosted here in Jamaica, but we're not even going to get one.
Really?
One.
Why is that?
Budgetary constraints and related matters. So, anyway, let's get on with it. Let's go, studio. Our next guest on location with us at the Little London Methodist Church is Dr. Priyan Wickramasinghe of Jacobi Medical Center. He's an emergency medicine physician, and we are anxious to hear his story right here on both sides of the story. Good afternoon to you, Doc. How are you?
Good, same to you.
Okay, wonderful. Can you give us an idea of how you came to be involved with JAHJAH Foundation, please?
Sure. So Dr. Trevor Dixon is the ultrasound director at where I trained, at Jacobi Medical Center in the Bronx in New York. And then my wife, Dr. Sackett, who was here interviewing before, she was 2 years ahead of me in training, and she came to JAHJAH in 2019, so she put me on to it. So this is my first time here, but this is her third time here.
Okay, you don't have to say it loud, but you had no choice, right?
No choice. I had to come.
After all. So this is obviously not your first time in Jamaica.
No.
When did the love affair with Jamaica begin?
So I came for the first time when there was a COVID relief activity from JAHJAH, I believe in 2021. So my wife came down for that to volunteer, and I came and met her in the grill with the rest of the team.
And how is the synergy?
Synergy is excellent. I think this is a very cohesive team. I think the structure of the way that this foundation runs is far superior than other health fairs, things that I've been involved with in the past, because it starts from Jamaicans and then goes outward. It's not people who are coming in with their own ideas. It's run by Jamaicans for Jamaicans. It's how it should be.
And I have to ask you, what would cause you to leave home, to come to pay your way to Jamaica, to dip into your own pockets, to spend time in Jamaica, to look after Jamaicans?
So I think it's very refreshing to come from the States where a lot of times people don't appreciate small gestures of help, and come into a place like Jamaica that is not only naturally beautiful, but everyone here has such a positive attitude towards life, and everyone's appreciative, even if it's something very basic, like in the dental clinic giving someone a toothbrush, something so simple. People are so appreciative. So that love that we feel back is something that's very restorative as a physician, especially working in the emergency room, to get that kind of love back from patients.
And in terms of how this particular trip has gone so far, today being the last day, what's your assessment?
I think it's been a very strong week. I think on the busiest day we saw almost 150 patients. And we've really just gotten a good rhythm of flow down. So the team is working very well, and I think no one on the team has a big ego, and everybody is willing to do anything that they can to help. So, for instance, I'm an emergency room physician, but this week I've really been helping out the dental team because that is where you're most needed. So the purpose of a trip like this is to do what is needed for the team and not do necessarily what you thought you were going to do.
What has the general reaction been like from the children, the adults, and all those you've interacted with on this 2024 mission trip?
Sure, so I think some of the children aren't that happy to see us as the dentist because they're scared, but they very quickly are calmed down by our very lovely and experienced dental team because they're experts at what they do. And then all the adults have been lovely as well. Everybody is so appreciative of just having something as simple as a dental cleaning done. It really can brighten their day and their smile for the next couple of years.
And after all this work, how do you cool down?
Only way to cool down is in cold water, Negro.
How do I come back after that? Right.
Maybe a cold red stripe.
It gets better. Yes. Well, that's good. And do you get a sense that you are, every time you come to Jamaica, you are expanding your Jamaican vocabulary?
Little bits here and there. I'm trying.
So maybe the next trip you can share them with one or two with us.
Yes, I'll study up for the next time for sure.
Sounds good. Nice to talk with you.
Same, pleasure.
All the best.
Take you.
Okay, take care.
Take care.
So that's Dr. Priyan Wickramasinghe, Jacobi Medical Center Emergency Medicine Physician. No, I love names, especially the foreign ones. Just tell me that it can't be pronounced and I'll pronounce it.
Are we going to keep going?
Let's remind you of the sponsors. American Friends of Jamaica, Catherine's Peak, Grace Foods, Cuckoo's Place. I'm curious to find out about Cuckoo's Place.
It's a restaurant in Falmouth.
A restaurant
and
inn in Falmouth.
Yeah,
all right,
Salt
that's a
Marsh.
good teaser. Springboard Incubators Inc., Travelers Resort, St. Thomas Renaissance Foundation, Jam West Beach Club, Cornerstone, Dennis Shipping, and Colgate. And the sponsors, Jacobi Medical Center, Global Ultrasound Institute, Negril Chamber of Commerce, Ministry of Health, Southeast Regional Health Authority, Friends of Ulster Spring, and Power 106 FM. Oops, we also have to say thanks to the Western Regional Health Authority. We thank them for their indulgence on board. Right, so we'll keep it going as we get ready to speak with Dr. Solomon Jason.
Good, perfect.
Thank you. So, Dr. Jason, it's good to talk with you. Where are you originally from?
I was born in Nigeria, currently living in the United States since 2005.
And is this your first time to Jamaica?
First time for a medical mission trip, but I've been here once before for a vacation.
What was it about Jamaica that caught your attention?
It's a very similar population to the one that I grew up with in Nigeria, in terms of the culture, the food, the openness, and it just really reminds me of home.
Yeah. In terms, right, the similarities are quite glaring.
Yes, it is. It is. Culturally, the strong faith, the sense of openness, togetherness, and this idea that it takes a village to raise just about anyone is something that I find is very, very similar to the environment that I grew up in.
What about the food? Any similarities there?
Yes, tons of similarities. I had jackfruit here for, it was my first time having jackfruit in Jamaica, but it was my first time having jackfruit in 19 years since I left Nigeria. So very, very similar cuisine.
Okay, yeah. I see. And what has this experience been like for you, this JAHJAH Foundation Mission for Change 2024?
It's really taught me to be more appreciative of the little things, like having the importance of having regular dental cleanings, having, just one yearly medical evaluation, and the fact that the ones who have the most are usually the least appreciative, and people who don't really have much, they're so grateful that even the smallest gestures can be, can really make a difference in their lives.
Speaking of making a difference, how much of a difference has your success so far in the medical profession? How has that been received and by your parents, for example?
For my family, it means a lot. I am the first doctor in my family. And so I think it's one barrier that once one person in the family is conquered, just shows everyone else that comes after that it's more than possible. And it's also a reminder that, once you achieve such a status, that the most important thing is that you find ways to pay it back to other people as well.
Do you have other talents that you haven't really pursued outside of medical field?
I have a few talents that I just like to keep as hobbies. I play several types of drums. So that's my favorite hobby. I don't want to make it anything professional because it's something that I enjoy doing on my own time.
Okay, lovely. And is it the Congo drum?
Yes, so I play the regular drum set, the Congo drums. I play the talking drums. And because of my appreciation for Caribbean culture, I'm trying to learn how to play the steel drums.
Yeah. Oh, the pan music.
Yeah.
Steel pan.
Yeah.
Yes. Indeed, originated in Trinidad and Tobago, I
Yes,
believe.
that's what I was taught.
Yes. So have you been able to visit other Caribbean islands?
No, I think I love Jamaica so much. This will be my second time here. I have visited other countries, in South America, Europe, but my plan going forward is to visit the Caribbean once yearly until I die.
All right. Well, by all means, keep going and all the very best. Okay. So.
There's a specific case that he diagnosed in ulcer spring that.
Okay, so we're hearing that. Well, there's a special thing that happened in Ulcer Spring.
So while we were in Ulcer Spring, I encountered a relatively elderly lady who had been complaining of bouts of dizziness and weakness upon standing, to the point where she was having near fainting spells while she was walking on the side of the road. And while interviewing her, one of the things that bothered me was that I noticed that both of her legs were very swollen. And normally, whenever you have someone that is complaining of issues of dizziness, weakness, and their legs are swollen, there are very few organs that can really point to such a pathology. And one of the main ones that do that is the heart. Luckily, that day we had access to an ultrasound machine, and I put the ultrasound on her chest and immediately saw a large containment of fluid around the heart that was basically suggested that it was showing signs of interrupting the heart's ability to beat. And we knew that she needed an emergency trip to the hospital, because if that continued to accumulate, it was likely going to kill her.
Oh, wow. So any idea what has happened since then?
Yes, so we were having difficulty getting access to a hospital ambulance. So one of our, Dr. Dixon, who largely heads this foundation, and one of our students, Femi, who's going to speak in a second, helped transport the patient very rapidly to the hospital, to Falmouth, and with the plan of draining the fluid around her heart.
So that was done, or to be done?
Yes.
Still in hospital.
Yes, to be done.
Okay.
Yes.
Whoa.
And
Yes.
might
Yeah.
I add something?
Sure, Patrice, go ahead.
So the ultrasound device that was on hand was actually donated. It's a portable ultrasound that was donated by JAHJAH Foundation last year. So again, just speaks to the incredible work that JAHJAH has been doing. Luckily, that patient did not have to get a referral to go off-site to a private ultrasound center to wait because, as he said, it's a very serious situation. So thankfully, JAHJAH was also ahead by donating a handheld ultrasound that they were able to just plug into a tablet or a cell phone and for that diagnosis to be done on the spot.
Wow, that was quite something. But I'm sure you've had so many other experiences in your lifetime. You could tell a story or two, as young as you are.
Yes, unfortunately, finding fluid around the heart is not an unusual thing to happen in the United States. I think what makes this situation different is essentially access to emergency care that would be life-saving in a timely fashion. And I think that's really what makes the difference. It's less so about the diagnostics and more so about what can be done afterwards, which is usually what compromises people's ability to survive these kind of pathologies.
Well, we want to thank you very much for playing your part, if I could borrow words from Jamaica's national pledge, playing your part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race.
Of course.
Well done.
Thank you. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you. Pleasure. So, that's Dr. Solomon Jason, third-year resident. And when we come back from this break, we will hear from another of the volunteers. One moment, please.
He has a shorter name. He just wanted to challenge you.
What's going on, sir?
I'm all right.
Femi.
Femi.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Pleasure is all mine.
Olua.
No, he wants
Oluwa Femi. Oluwa Femi Gabe Samori.
The G is silent.
Okay. This is not is this an I?
Yes, I.
As part of the recognition and celebration of excellence in the
She said he wants to try it on his own. He likes
Education and Youth is hosting its third session of the National Forum for
Samori.
Yeah.
From January 25 to 27 under the theme Celebrating Achievements and Reimagining Education.
That's a good workout.
Join Power 106 FM for a live outside broadcast during Power Talk. Thursday,
Water. You know, I actually have, my wife gave me 2 bottles of water on my way.
11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
That's
Please drink from our spot. Would you like one?
Sure, thanks.
That's an outside broadcast during Power Talk from the Jamaica Teaching Council Forum for Innovations in Teaching, 5th Street at the National Arena, Independence Park, Kingston. From 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM.
Stand by. All right, stand by. Take a sip in a little while. Let's go, studio. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both sides of the story, Paro 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. We're continuing our coverage of the work of JAHJAH Foundation, Jamaicans abroad helping Jamaicans at home. And we're coming to you live from Little London Methodist Church here in Little London, Westmoreland. So we have another of our volunteers stepping up to the plate, as they say, to share his experience with us. He is Oluwafemi Beisamore. And how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for asking.
So did I get the name right?
Yeah, Oluwafemi Beisamore.
Beisamore.
Yeah.
Okay. Shamore. So you put on a little schwa on Shamore. Gotcha. Good to talk to you, and anxious to hear why you chose medicine or medicine chose you.
So, it's a loaded question, but I think in order to be interested in a career in medicine, you'll have to be, one, have compassion for other people, and secondly, always be interested in learning. I think the career entails learning past not only medical school and residency, but even when you graduate and become an attending, you always have to read and study. And I found that the process of learning is something that I enjoy, even though it can be tedious at times. I think learning about new information is always what keeps me going, and of course, having a general interest in other people's hardships.
And what has that journey been like for you?
Yeah, I think I've always wanted to pursue medicine since I was little. There really hasn't been any other career that has interested me, so it's just what I've sort of, since I was maybe 10, 11, 12, just one day I'm hopefully going to be a doctor, so that's kind of what happened.
Oh, nice. And so far, well, it seems your path has been rather smooth, or have you had your fair share of ups and downs?
No, definitely ups and downs. I think if everything's smooth, you don't grow, and through hardships is where you really learn the most about yourself. It's a couple of exams, not even a couple, a lot of exams you have to pass just to get into medical school. The medical admissions test I took twice. The first time I did pretty terribly, so I had to retake that. And undergrad and college, there's a lot of classes or tests I didn't do well on, so it hasn't been smooth at all.
It sounds like you know how to roll with the punches.
Yeah, somewhat. You can't, even if you do poorly, you can't be too hard on yourself. What I'm trying to pursue is hard, and everyone has failed at some point, but it's just a matter of how you respond to failure. It's what really speaks more about your character.
Yeah, so what, do you have to sort of give yourself that mental prodding to stick it out, or does it come naturally for you?
I'd say a little bit of both. I think I've always been someone that has had a lot of confidence in myself. Even when I do fail, I know that that's not my best work, and I can do better if I try again and maybe try a different technique at what I'm doing. But ultimately, when you fail, you can't become too discouraged with yourself, because there's always room to grow.
Yeah, absolutely, I like that. There's always room to grow. And who or what would you say has been instrumental in your growth and personal, professional development?
Sure. So first and foremost, my mom. My mom is a native of, she was born in Tower Hill, Jamaica. In Kingston. And then she moved to the States when she was 10. So definitely my mom would be number one. Number two would be my dad. My dad was a physician. He came to America after graduating medical school in Nigeria. So definitely those two.
Very well. And so, in the event of some medical situation, you get the call first?
No, so I'm not even a student yet. I start school in June, med school in June, but thankfully we have a lot of people here, medical professionals here, that you should call first before you call me.
All right. Well, thank you very much for sharing with us. It's been a pleasure. Well done. Keep going. You're quite a champion.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. So that was Oluwafemi Deshamori. Deshamori. Yes. So that takes us now to Joan Rose Green.
No, Rosemary needs to.
No?
I'm sorry.
All right, hold on.
No. Okay, sorry. Next one. Rosemary, Mason.
All right, we'll tell you who is going to be talking with us in just a moment here on
Just give me a name.
your program.
Okay, do Katisha next.
Both sides of the story for 106 FM.
Just give me your name,
Katisha Dillon. Katisha.
Katisha Dillon.
Hi,
Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Oh, wonderful. How did you come to be involved with the JAHJAH Foundation?
Well, I met Dr. Dixon while he was working in Jacoby ER. I'm a paramedic in New York City for the FDNY in the Bronx. And I brought in a patient, and he saw me one day and started talking to me. And told me about the foundation, what it is they're doing, and said he really liked people like myself with the kind of experience that I have to come and contribute to the foundation.
And like so many of us, you just couldn't say no to Dr. Dixon.
Absolutely not. He
What?
does not take no for an answer.
So is this your first trip?
This is my first trip.
What has the experience been like so far?
Oh, it's been pretty amazing. I've been exposed to so much more than I thought I would be, and so many things have happened on this trip that have changed my life and perspective on so many things.
Really? Care to tell us some more?
Sure. Well, for one, I did not know that we actually had portable handheld ultrasound devices, so that's something new that I'm learning for the first time, and how that came in handy with the one patient that we had. I heard you interviewing Solomon earlier about the patient that we found with the pericardial effusion in her heart. And the fact that that simple thing that changed her life, we were able to take her to the hospital and get her treatment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it must have been quite a relief so far because she's on the way to recovery.
Right. And even while on the road, going back to our hotel, we actually passed 2 accidents, and we were able to stop and assess and give our help as much as possible.
And you went to the emergency room and what?
Yeah, so we stopped for 2 accidents. The first one, we noticed a few cars on the opposite side of the road. Some of them were turned over. I quickly went into triage mode, assess how many patients were in each car, how many patients we have total, and what level of injuries they have, and stuff like that. And everyone was okay at that one for the most part, so we were able to turn it over to the authorities. Our second one was a motorcycle accident. A young man was not wearing a helmet and stuff like that. He had a obviously severely damaged left femur fracture, open. Yeah, we were able to stabilize his leg, get a car because there was too much. It would have taken too long for an ambulance or something like that, where no one was coming at the time that we were there, and by the time we had him packaged and assessed and everything like that. So we had a Good Samaritan with his car. We were able to put him in the back of his car and transport him to the hospital.
And you went along.
Yeah. And I felt okay there.
And that is such a key point of attention in terms of the need to assist, right? That comes natural,
right?
The need to assist, but then it would help, I would imagine, maybe if more of us were being taught, basic CPR, etc.
Yeah, some basic emergency care management would be nice to have that, to have more commonplace, that more civilians could possibly help out appropriately without doing further damage to patients.
Yeah, and no doubt some of us could do with some advice in that regard in terms of if you have to, then what not to do perhaps?
Right, exactly.
Because as I said, invariably everybody just, well, for the most part, people want to go in and help, but you don't want to cause harm in that same space.
Right, because a lot of people, while they're doing good and they think that they're doing the right thing, they could end up be doing more harm than good.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. Well done, and all the very best.
No problem, thank you.
Okay, take care. All right. So, let's see now. Who do we have next?
Right next to
I want to segue to the EMS
Let's take the break and come back and hear from the man himself, Dr. Trevor Dixon of JAHJAH Foundation. But first, let's take the break and come back with more in just a moment. Okay. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Steve,
Dervan. Yes,
Steve,
before,
no,
yes,
yes,
yes.
He's a trainer, EMS trainer, and we'll be training paramedics or first responders in the grill, even though we're still waiting on this ambulance to get here. The training continues, and we just, so we need to talk about how important it is to. The young lady pointed out the scenario to you, and there was no ambulance to respond to any of those things. So we're here to work, and we need some understanding as a part of government, charity organization, bringing in public ambulances to serve in the public. We're not talking ambulances to work in the private sector, we're talking ambulances just like we're doing here, training the community how to respond to emergencies, just like when
all smiles that
twice. Right? I brought the woman to the hospital with pericardial effusion. There was no EMS in Trelawney, Foster Spring. They told us they don't know when the ambulance will be to leave from Falmouth to go to Foster Spring. So how many hours do you think? It's a 2-hour drive from Foster Spring to Falmouth. So 4 or 5 hours was an emergency. Unacceptable. And we're here to help bridge the gap. So we need those people in government who understand what we're doing to step up and help us get the policy in place. So we don't have to go to this. So we're going to bring in 4 or 5 more ambulances as Stephen Down was asking. We did 1 ambulance. We're going to bring in 4, 5, 6, 7 ambulances and distribute it in the community. We're committed to do that. But they have to show some commitment and public-private partnership.
That's it.
Steve, talk about what you've been doing here. Just talk about the fact that we're going to stop on the road too.
Right, I'll do it in training. The training, I'm sick of the training.
How are you?
I can start the talk.
All the better to see you.
You're not paying any mind, but it's all right.
Actually, let Steve go first.
Okay.
Well, the training continues even though we don't have the ambulance. How was the ambulance?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Nice. It really is. I saw the top, yeah. Actually, a telephone intercom, driver glass. Yeah. Yep.
We're not turning back.
Is sorry, just a second.
Wait,
I'm going to try to call 121 to the call for ambulance. Right?
Sorry, Steve, yes. What's it? Narcosi. That's it. That's it. All right. Standing by. Let's go, studio. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and we're going to speak now with Dr. Oh, you're going to Dr. Dixon, right. Dr. Trevor Dixon. We're going to speak with Dr. Trevor Dixon right now, the founder and CEO of JAHJAH Foundation.
Yeah.
And he's going to be joining Steve Nardozzi in the discussion. Dr. Dixon, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Dervan. Thanks for having us here. Thanks to Power 106 for having us here to tell the story and the journey of the JAHJAH Foundation.
And good afternoon. Good to see you again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very good to be here. Thank you.
Okay. I think Dr. Dixon was ready to go.
Yes, yeah, I'm more or less ready to go. We're speaking about the EMS situation in Jamaica. As Katisha Dillon, the paramedic from New York City, just explained that we have an issue here with emergency medical services. It's not an emergency service by any means. It doesn't move, as far as we're concerned, as rapidly as it should, and the main reason for that is that we didn't have enough transport vehicles, or whatever it's vehicles and personnel, to move patients to the hospital in a timely manner. Every health fair we go to, we find instances where people need immediate medical care, and it's compromised because we have to wait to see how soon we can have an emergency medical vehicle to transport these patients there. And it really brings tears to our heart. Currently, we have an ambulance that's been brought into the country, and we're waiting for clearance of that ambulance. And we're told we have to pay $20,000 to clear this ambulance to work in the public sector. And I said, when I say the public sector, I mean the public sector. We're not for profit. It's a public vehicle. Yes, there are a lot of partners who want to see this happen. In the Grill Chamber of Commerce, Jamaica Fire Brigade, and of course the JAHJAH Foundation. We want to see this for the people of Jamaica. And because we can't get the proper waiver, it's unreasonable for me to pay $20,000 to clear
US dollars.
US dollars for an ambulance that costs $38,000. It's just unreasonable. And why is that unreasonable? Because if we had been given a waiver for this public ambulance, you can buy 2 more ambulances and get them on the road here in Jamaica. Because everyone you talk to said they don't have any vehicle. Sometimes the vehicles are in disrepair, or sometimes the vehicle has to go to another area to serve that community because we just don't have enough ambulances on the island. And we understand that. And our fine government always talk about public-private partnership. There's no better example of public-private partnership than when you're trying to save someone's life. That's the ultimate need of public-private partnership, is to save lives. If we're not saving lives and the saving lives is not our priority, I don't know what we're about. So those who are listening, who knows those in government who can assist us with this journey. I know sometimes the assistance doesn't come because they don't understand what we're doing. But if they can sit at the table with us and understand that this is not a private venture. This is a public venture to work with the Fire Brigade, as I said, and Jamaica's public system. We're still here training people to be first responders because we're bringing in the proper training. They're CPR trained, they're BLS trained, and they're trained to respond and safely transport patients to the hospital. Right now, I have to leave. Why do I have to leave? Because there's a patient that's at the health fair who has some serious, looks like cardiac issues. And because of the fact that there's no ambulance, I told my team, call 119, because that's the system we have in place. We have to give a chance the system in place, because I know what they're going to say. Did you call 119? And we're going to go through the system and see how long it takes for an ambulance to respond. And I'd love to stay on this interview, but I have to go now. My team members say the best ethical decision to do is to transport this patient to the hospital myself. So I have to leave this interview and transport this patient. But we need people who have cooler head to understand this is a serious issue. We in the States, we know better. So we have to do better. So I hope Steve Nardozzi and the rest of the team can finish this interview while I transport this patient to South Lamar Hospital at this time. And that's just the honest truth. Okay.
All right, Dr. Trevor Dixon. Steve Nardozzi, what are your thoughts on what you have heard so far?
It's a system problem, and EMS is supposed to be a system, and the system is supposed to work. But sometimes no matter how many EMTs we have trained, the system is flawed. And, you know, we're working, JAHJAH Foundation is working to support that system by adding ambulances and volunteer personnel to help. The people of JAHJAH Foundation are local partners, you know, the members of the community that are being trained want to help their community. And we, JAHJAH Foundation, is supplying an ambulance, but the system needs to work. It's not one person, it's not 10 people, it's a system. For the last 2 days, we've done, you know, 9 to 5 training, where we have the newer members of GEMS, JAHJAH's Jamaican EMS Negril, renewed their CPR certification. The newer members will receive CPR, and the ones that we trained last year that were here refreshed their skills so that they are confident that if some emergency happens in the community, they can help. We'd love to be able to do that with the ambulance so that they not only can help, but that they can then assist with the transportation to the hospital.
Quick update. Yes. Tell her about that 911
Okay. An update, sorry. Excuse me, Steve.
And it complements what Mr. Nardozi has been talking about. The patient that Dr. Dixon just spoke about. So the update from the 119 call is that the patient should be put in a taxi and brought to the hospital. Now that's unacceptable, right? So the person who made the call asked what other options there are, and they were given a number to call a private ambulance. Now patients in rural communities don't have the money.
That's right.
Right? So I said it when you interviewed me the first time. Healthcare is a right. It's not a privilege. And it's very upsetting, it's very frustrating, because we know that we can do better. The patient from Ulster Spring, who we had to transport to Falmouth Hospital in a private vehicle. We just got an update. They pulled 500 cc's of fluid from around that patient's heart. Now she's in ICU at Cornwall Regional. And I'm very passionate, I'm upset. And I don't even live here. Because I know that we can do better. We can do better. Right? And this is why until JAHJAH no longer needs me, I will do all I can, because the system can change and it must change. Too many Jamaicans are dying because of simple things that could be done if more people cared. And JAHJAH Foundation cares, and we need more Jamaicans abroad and at home, wherever you are in the diaspora. We need your support. We were fortunate enough to be given opportunities to leave the island, and we cannot leave our people behind because it is not right. We didn't get into healthcare just to have titles, right? To get into healthcare starts with a passion for people, a passion for justice, a passion for life. And these people in these rural communities, they deserve every opportunity to live. And as long as I have breath and strength, I will continue to say healthcare is a right, not a privilege. And I thank you for helping us to share the message.
Say back to you.
Yes.
Yes, sir. You know, I already said the word EMS system. I would like to ask the 119 operator what training the taxi driver has should the person go into cardiac arrest and need CPR. In the back of an ambulance on a proper stretcher, we can do CPR.
That's right.
In the back of a taxi cab, the person will expire before they get to the hospital. That is sad. It doesn't have to be. I remember when I was teaching at UWI, the EMT program under the guidance of Dr. Segri, I remember the discussion about EMS, and it's a system that it's not expensive. You can't afford not to have it. You know, I mean, people say, oh, we can't afford that. Well, how much is a human life worth? You know, and so it's a system that you can't afford not to have. And it doesn't take a lot, especially when we have volunteers are willing to give their time. We had approximately 20 volunteers give up 2 full 8-hour days for training in anticipation of our ambulance being ready. It's amazing. It really is.
What a waste of time.
You know, if I could, what's very important for people, for me to let people understand, the members of the Jamaican Fire Brigade that have been trained as EMTs have been trained to the absolute highest standards. And it's frustrating for them to have that training and perhaps not have the ambulance in service at their station because they want to help. But it again, you know, in teaching EMS for, you know, close to 25 years, that word EMS system, it has to work. And one link of a chain, the system will, you know, that's not there, the system's broken.
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do.
And we're willing to help make it easier. JAHJAH Foundation's willing to help, number one, train volunteers to good standards. Our next plan is to get them certified as first responders or initial medical responder so that they are confident, have the training, and are willing to help members of their community. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your role over all these years.
My pleasure, always.
We're very grateful to you and the other members of the team, the volunteers, for the work that you continue to do in service to our fellow brothers and sisters. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM.
When they get back, I want to hear what some of the people saying. I know y'all listen to what people saying. I want to hear what people are saying about this.
Listen to us on 106.1 to 106.9 on the FM band. You can also listen to us on the Power 106 FM app, which you can download on the Google Play Store or the App Store. Tonight, listen to us on onestopmedia.com and the OneStopMedia app. Or log on to go.jamaica.com. Power 106 FM will all be from them. Giving you powerful talk radio in so many ways. On air and online.
Thank you. Before you come on, take your picture.
Let's go. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. We're gonna have a word now with Rosemary Mason, a registered nurse. Hello, Rosemary Mason. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Good to talk with you. And how about starting off by sharing with us how you came to be a part of JAHJAH Foundation?
So I became a part of JAHJAH Foundation when I met Dr. Dixon working in the same Level 1 Trauma Center. And the impact that he had on the staff as we said before, he could convince you of anything. So yes, I was convinced. And since it involved taking care of my very own people in Jamaica, I was very much interested.
And how long ago was that?
I think that was like 4 years ago that I started.
And I'm sure, sorry, go ahead.
On this mission.
And I'm sure volunteers have come and gone. So why do you still participate? Why do you still serve in this year?
As a matter of fact, I'll tell you, the minute I leave Jamaica, I start preparing for the next mission, which means that my mission stuff remains in my suitcase. And I keep coming back because there is so much to do in Jamaica. And I believe that if you start one thing at a time, no matter how small it is impactful. Even teaching people how to take care of themselves, it is very impactful. So I keep coming back every year because of the need.
Because she's from Marlborough. Yes. And well, in terms of your Jamaican roots, give us an idea of what that is like.
So I grew up in a community called Marlborough in Kingston. And I also went to St. Andrew High School in Kingston. And from there, I went to reside in the States.
It's been how long now?
Boy, I think I've been in the States now over 22 years or more.
And what has it been like for you as a Jamaican in the diaspora? How does it make you feel when you are able to help, as has been manifested here in Westmoreland, in one of the many stops that you've made?
So first of all, this trip was even more impactful because, as my teammates said before, you know, we actually came upon accident sites, and as a level 1 trauma nurse, it was the real deal, where you were able to quickly do a focus assessment on your patient and get them off to a trauma center where they can be seen. So the need continues. People are getting sicker, and as nurses, we have to push in our education and whatever we can do in order to help others in healthcare.
How do you keep yourself motivated, especially in the environment in which you work, considering the trauma and the stress?
First of all, you have to like people. If you don't like people, you have no business becoming a nurse. And you have to know that there are going to be bad days, because the patients that I see are level 1 gunshot wounds, car accidents, bike accidents. Those are the kind of patients that we see. And from day to day, you know, we huddle and we support each other after each incident. And so it becomes somewhat of a camaraderie, and it helps to supporting each other helps.
So what do you do to cool down after a hard day's work?
Well, presently I teach the trauma nurses, the level 1 trauma nurses, and after a hard day, I probably stop at the mall and do some shopping for JAHJAH stuff. Yes, I love to shop, yes.
Absolutely. Well, you deserve that and a whole lot more.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for talking with us. All the best.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thank you. Happy to have you here as we continue our coverage of the work of JAHJAH Foundation in Jamaica, and pointing specifically to where we are right now in Little London, at the Little London Methodist Church, for another in the series of stops. So we're going to keep it going right now. And let's see who's coming next. Oh, she came back. Okay, I thought she was on the road. All right. So, right now, we are going to speak with an internationally acclaimed
Yes, yes. And thanks.
Okay, sir.
She is another of the committed Jamaican nurses who would make Mary Seacole very, very proud. Very, very proud. She chairs the Jamaica Diaspora Health Sector, Northeast USA. She is Claudette Powell.
She's also
And she also serves as Public Relations Officer with the Jamaica Nurses Group of New York. Nurse Claudia, how are you?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. We talked so many times, I don't even know how you're going to introduce me anymore.
I don't know. I'm running out of introductory expressions.
Right, that's okay. I'm willing to speak with you at any time.
Thank you very much. But I get the impression that you have a deep sense of commitment and just a general wish, notwithstanding the circumstances, that whatever it is, as long as you're around, you are going to get involved. Where did you get that attitude from?
This is amazing. No matter how many times persons ask me that, I don't even know. You know, it's very hard to say. I always say that we're all born for a reason, and we have a purpose. And I think really my purpose is to help others. Don't know how far it's coming back. I saw some of my family members doing similar, even my brother. I have a brother who's a physician assistant, and he has gone all around even into Haiti. And I'm looking at that. I have a sister who's doing something similar. I have a brother who's a captain, a pilot, and he found himself going along on a medical mission. So I'm saying, look at this, all four of us. But I think it is so rewarding. We don't do this for any gratitude. We don't do it for any money. Just got a good feeling to know that after we return to where we're staying, we know that we helped someone and we possibly saved a life.
And how do you ensure that even while you are doing good in the neighborhood, as they would say, how do you ensure that you are keeping up health-wise, even in the midst of what can be quite a stressful environment?
That's good. You really have to, you come first. That's the thing. I have to think about myself, and I'm always asked, do you get to sleep? I said, yes. Volunteer work is not 24 hours. So you really need to know how to juggle, get your rest, eat well, and then, you know, on the plane they say put on your mask first. So that's what I have to do in order to help others.
And what kind of year has 2024 been shaping up to be? Any indications?
As far as personally, for me or for others?
For you?
I would say that, you know, as the years come on, I set new goals. I look at those that I had the previous years. I see, you know, there's always room for improvement, but at this time I see that I will still be on this path.
Okay. And of course, they don't need to call you twice, right?
No, they don't. And most of the time they don't have to call me. I usually call first.
Okay. So who was it in your family who sort of planted that seed of interest in the healthcare profession, specifically nursing?
It's really, they're funny they were not in the healthcare profession. My mom, who just was the person to be always packing barrels. She's from Clarendon. She's expired now. And always, the people always look forward to seeing Miss Violet. So we just got that feeling that, wow, it must be something special that she's always helping people with not much. She had $1, it would stretch for 30 people. So we felt that we had to carry on that legacy. So maybe that's where it came from. And my father, wait, how did I forget this? Did not grow up with my father, but think that this is genetic. My dad was in London. And after a long time, I found that he was such a strong diasporan there. Currently, there's a book done by the High Commissioner's Office. My dad is one of them listed. Isn't that amazing? And now I have a sister who's second generation, who's now taking over one of the foundations that he was in charge of. She is doing that now.
Right.
So I think I got it both sides.
Clearly.
Yes.
And you're at the right place. This is both sides of the story.
Yes. So he's one of those, what you call it, the what do you call it in the British, when the people came from
Oh,
Jamaica?
that's the
Windrush.
Yeah.
It's Windrush generation, even it's from the 60s. Yes.
Yeah. Right. So, do you ever get tired?
Of course, like anyone else, you get fatigued. Sometimes you sit by yourself, take a little power nap, take some deep breaths because you have to exercise, and I do exercise. I do daily walks,
Yes.
and I try to eat right. You know, we can always do better, but I try. So I'm very thankful. I thank God for my state of mind, my general health at this time.
And we give thanks. We give God thanks for you.
Thank you.
And the work that you continue to do. Well done.
Thank you, but I just have one more thing I would like to mention.
Sure.
Is there time?
Go ahead.
Yes. During this trip, and I know several persons will be speaking about this, but I'm seeing it from another side, about the road accidents that we encountered 2 days ago. Don't know if it was shared with you as yet.
Yes.
Driving from one site in Trelawney, had dinner, heading back to the hotel, and there was a car accident. I'm so impressed and pleased that the JAHJAH team, they were there. They were the first responders. Yes, there were people standing around, but they were the ones who went and helped the persons who were in that car. Now, and we all played a role. Now, I'm not an emergency person. I'm here for a different reason. So I stood to the back, I observed, and I allowed them to work. As you know, this JAHJAH team has several emergency physicians and nurses, and there was also a paramedic on board who was here for another reason, for a conference. So what I learned from that, like Dr. Dixon has been saying all along, and others, one, no ambulance. In the US or else you go on site, we would have seen an ambulance. That was not possible. It was not possible where you could say, let's wait for the ambulance to come. Fortunately, nobody had to be transferred at the time to the hospital. But it brings me to the next one. What's the likelihood of seeing two accidents, I would say within 45 minutes apart?
What?
So we attended to that person or persons, ready on our way, and there was another one, more serious, a motorcyclist. Now, the same thing again. Someone should have been able to call an ambulance. There was no ambulance. A citizen's car was used because you could not use a regular car because the person could not sit up. You had to stabilize the neck. So they had one of those cars where you don't have the seats in the back. And I watched my team, including the photographer here, everyone helping Mr. Garvin to lift this patient, roll safely, and put him in the car. Not only that, the paramedic on our team rode in the back of the car with the patient to the hospital.
Run down around 7:40 even. She didn't even take her phone.
Look at that.
And
Hold it there.
others,
Let's
yes.
take a break and come back.
At Wellington
Make sure
Dental,
you keep
they
it
offer
white.
cleaning, billing,
Big argument.
and other services for the entire
Excuse me.
family. The time at Wellington Dental is
It's 4:01 on Power 106.
the Auto World.
It's the only person on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobiles. It's the Auto World, Shelly and McLaren.
Okay.
Just news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operations. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sector. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLaren. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
We had 8 more people. I came there like I went back. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna come back.
All right, stand by.
Goes after her.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. 3 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. And continuing just a bit more our conversation with Nurse Claudette Powell. And Nurse, I'm sorry, I think I stopped you in mid-sentence earlier
Oh
on.
yes, we were just finishing up the discussion about the two road accidents that we intervened or intervention. And I am glad, as chair of the Jamaica Diaspora Health Sector, that I was on the scene as a witness. Because, you know, sometimes you hear this in the diaspora talk about things that hearsay. Well, this is not a hearsay for me. I saw the deficiencies that occurred, and I saw in which way the diaspora can be very helpful to other people of Jamaica. So, and yes, there are other groups like JAHJAH, but I have to commend JAHJAH Foundation because I was on the scene and I have been a member for several years.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, seeing is believing, they say.
Yes, it is. And you know, you'll be hearing no more of this, but by the time Diaspora Conference comes up, this story will be repeated several times. And I'm the messenger, and I think people will believe me, you know, because I was there.
Why wouldn't they?
Yes.
Well, we thank you once again for your service to Jamaica and by extension the world.
You're welcome at any time.
Okay, all the best. And here is a gentle reminder of the friendships and the partnerships, the sponsors: American Friends of Jamaica, Catherine's Peak, Grace Foods, Cuckoo's Place, Springboard Incubators Inc., Travelers Resort, St. Thomas Renaissance Foundation, Jam West Beach Club, Cornerstone, Dennis Shipping, and Colgate. The partners: Jacobi Medical Center, Global Ultrasound Institute, Negril Chamber of Commerce, the Ministry of Health, the Southeastern Regional Health Authority, I beg your pardon, the Western Regional Health Authority, Friends of Ulster Spring, and of course, Power 106 FM. And we are going to have a word now with Dr. Emma Guzman Vizcarrondo.
Oh, you actually said it right.
And
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Muy buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Encantado.
Encantada también.
Good. Right. This is lovely. Where was I? Right.
I know. You got stuck on the name. It's so many letters.
So it's nice to meet you, as I just said, and anxious to hear your story or your side of the story in terms of your involvement with JAHJAH Foundation.
Okay. So my name is Dr. Emma Guzman Vizcarrondo. I'm a general and cosmetic dentist from Brooklyn, New York. My family is originally from Guatemala, so I got into dentistry because I see how there's so much lack of healthcare, there's lack of information in terms of our health, and especially our oral health. In most countries, oral health is a luxury. People don't get it or they don't have money, right? So I understand how important this is. I started doing dental mission trips in 2013. Before I was even a dentist. When I was in undergrad, I was doing mission trips. In dental school, I was doing mission trips. And now in practice, I do it.
Oh, those weren't with JAHJAH Foundation?
Those were not with JAHJAH Foundation.
Okay.
When I was in residency in Bronx Care, I was working with Dr. Jackie McLean because she also went to Bronx Care. Yes. She also went to Bronx Care, and she told us about the JAHJAH Foundation. And I remember that. That was in 2017. And I said, one day I'm going to go on a trip with them. And here I am.
Just like that.
Just like that.
And I'm sure you, having gotten to this level, it's almost like I've reached the top, in a manner of speaking.
Yeah.
Meaning you kind of feel you want to say, yes.
Yes, we're here.
But
we're here, and we're reaching the pinnacles of our career, right? But it's such a privilege to be able to do what we do, so we have to give back.
Yes,
We have to give back to our communities.
absolutely. And is this your first time to Jamaica?
No, this is actually my 4th mission to Jamaica. Yes.
I see. But is there anything that you find to be special, different, or otherwise unique as far as the JAHJAH Foundation outreach is concerned?
So I would say that my experience with the JAHJAH Foundation, I think that the facilities that we have to provide care have been great, right? You know, we're hot, we're working hard, we're sweaty, but, you know, they're providing us with fans, we have dental chairs, right? We have certain things that I didn't have in my previous missions. We have the machines to do proper cleaning, right? We have the machines to really polish the teeth. We're taking out teeth with certain instruments that I didn't have at the other missions. So I think that we're definitely more equipped with this one. So we're providing great care. Yes.
And so, when do you think, well, not when, maybe, what for you would you regard as the, as you mentioned earlier on, the pinnacle as to where you would want to get to? You're not there yet, are you?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because you could always go higher. You could always go higher and you could always strive for more. So I would say my ideal situation is being able to do these type of trips multiple times a year, not just one time a year, and to bring it back to my community as well in Guatemala, because there's a lot of mission trips that we hear about that go to Guatemala, they go to Antigua, they go to all these different places, but they don't go to where the Black people are, right? And they don't go to the coast. So that's what I would want to bring, and that would be my pinnacle. I love serving the people of Jamaica though, since I come here so much, but I would want to bring it to my community as well.
Excellent, yes. Hold it right there. Go ahead, Patrice.
To underscore Dr. Guzman's commitment, she's one that doesn't take a break if we don't force her to. That's how passionate she's been this whole trip. The dental team, I'll tell you, there are 4 dentists here, and for the past 4 days, they've been seeing about 8 patients per hour. And this is one team that when we say, okay, we've given out all the numbers that we allocated for the day, they're like, no, if there are more people here that need to see us come, we're not leaving anybody behind. Yeah. And that's because they've recognized the great need in dental care, especially because it's so expensive. Yes. And most people, you can add some of what you're seeing. It's okay to share. But, you know, just the commitment and to know that she's not Jamaican, but she did not let that deter her from being so passionate. And I just want to say to you, on behalf of many of the patients who you've treated who may not have been able to tell you thanks after you mash up their mouth. Thank
mash
you.
It up for a good reason.
Mash it up for it to be rebuilt. But a lot of them, when they walk out of the dental area especially, if it's even to motion and say, you know, to tell the team thanks on their behalf. So thank you for your commitment, and when you're ready to take this to Guatemala, if you need me, and I'm sure if you need the rest of JAHJAH, we will be there with and for you.
Thank you. All right. That was nice.
JAHJAH Guatemala.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love your energy.
Thank you.
Yes. Well done.
Yes. Alrighty. Thank you for having me. Blessings.
It's been a pleasure. Muchísimas gracias.
Alright.
One more and then.
Muchas gracias.
Okay, final.
All right. Yeah.
Final one is Delroy Jones, a volunteer.
Okay, so we still have some ways to go. Well, not quite. Just one more. So we're going to have a word with Delroy Jones, another of the volunteers of JAHJAH Foundation. Who did that song? It was a song about Delroy? Delroy?
DYCR.
Yeah, DYCR. Yes, yes. That's what comes to mind. So, Delroy.
Yeah.
Your name is being called a lot, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Why is your name called a lot?
I don't know. Maybe because I live with my grandma, so, you know, Delroy. I have to do everything in the yard, you know? I do everything I had for JAHJAH.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Local champion.
Yes, indeed, local champion. So how did you get involved with JAHJAH Foundation?
I think it was 5 years ago. I was at Mango Hall and meet up with Dr. Dixon.
Okay.
So we start from there, helping with the school at Mango Hall and so forth. So from that time till now, I'm just volunteer for them. I love this team. Best right now.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. I mean, having said that, I'm thinking clearly you are committed to the cause.
Yeah, yeah, man. For real, real, real.
But why? Why have you said yes in an environment when you don't have to? So many of us, we focus on, and nothing is wrong with focusing on your daily endeavors, but there's always the hope that at some point somebody will stretch a hand or assist.
So it's all about the good heart. Yeah, so I meet people with good hearts, you know.
And once you come upon those people, there's a natural synergy.
Yeah, that's the energy we use. So JAHJAH Foundation to the world.
Yeah. So I get the impression that you are multi-talented. You have quite a number of talents.
Yeah. Actually, when I'm not with JAHJAH, I'm doing other stuff. So, but when they come, I have to be with them. I have to stop what I'm doing to be with JAHJAH Foundation. They're helping a lot of people. Even with the dentists, the dental, people need it very much out here.
But just in general terms, what are some of the things you actually do or you've done over the years with JAHJAH Foundation in terms of playing your part, helping?
With the school, we were setting up the school. It did need a lot of help, like construction with the floor, tiling the floor, putting in cabinet, getting new desks, and other stuff, all heap of stuff.
And this healthcare, you organize it.
Yeah.
You work with local people.
Yeah, so first we was at Mango Hall for 3 years. We were going for 3 years, but it was so, the energy wasn't right here. So, but we didn't stop.
Yes.
We take it still to the community.
And you have now brought it to Little London.
Yeah, so everybody can still come. Even though we get a bad energy, we don't break down, we just go on, keep going on.
Yes.
So, never give up.
Right, so how busy have you been on this trip compared to others?
Oh boy, very busy. Yeah, volunteer, I do everything. I'll do anything. Craig there, Delroy there, Delroy here, just going, keep going. Anything must done, have to be done.
That's right.
Delroy ready to finish,
And it doesn't matter what it is, eh?
No. Don't matter. Yeah, man, JAHJAH Foundation. Real. Yeah, man.
Wonderful. Well, it's good to talk with you, Delroy. Congratulations. Keep going. You are truly a community champion.
Yeah, man. So I'm saying thanks to JAHJAH Foundation one more year again. And more to come. So we wish them load more love, more good heart. Keep on coming. Yeah, man, never stop.
All right. Thank you very much. All the best.
Yeah, man.
He wants his accusation people. He forgot. He's inspired by Dr. Guzman.
Okay.
Go on.
All right. I'm trying to remember his name.
Serafin.
Serafin?
Yeah. So I just wanted to say a couple of words to all the Haitians that are living in Jamaica right now. Je salue nous, c'est Dr. Séraphin, et je souhaite que nous tous nous bien ici au Jamaïque. Et spécialement si les docteurs haïtiens qui vivent ici, ok, même si vous avez fait l'école de médecine en Haïti, ou bien fait l'école de médecine au Cuba, ou bien la Dominicanie, nous avons cherché docteurs que nous sommes capables d'enseigner qui j'ai utiliser ultrasound, ok, ultrasound, et qui vivent au Jamaïque. Et nous avons fait mission ça encore année qui va venir en 2025. Donc nous avons souhaité que nous soyons capables de rejoindre nous, de rencontrer vous, de parler avec vous, pour nous capables de travailler avec vous. Parce que c'est ça, JAHJAH Foundation a essayé de faire. Nous avons essayé de connecter tout le monde qui vit au Jamaïque avec le monde qui vit en Haïti, le monde qui vit New York, New Jersey ou bien Miami. Et pour ces docteurs, essayez de rejoindre nous, essayez de parler avec nous parce que nous avons temps. All right?
So tell us what you said. We got to know what you said.
You guys want me to translate? Basically,
No,
I'm saying...
Yeah, you introduce yourself at first. And then
I'm basically saying that, JAHJAH Foundation is about partnering in order to improve healthcare and education. So we are looking forward to working with any Haitian doctors or nurses in 2025 because this medical mission happens every year, so it will be happening next year. And we have, focus in ultrasound and EMS services. So if you can join us, please find a way to get in contact with us, and we can work together. Okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Great. All right. Let's see now.
Dervan. Want some feedback?
All right. Let's see. Couple of messages. Oh, we need to take a break. Let's go to the break. 19 minutes past 4 o'clock.
This season, and One Stop Media has a special gift for you and your family. Get 30% off our 6-month subscription plan and receive 1 month free special access to Gleaner Premium. Dive into this world of exclusive content and enjoy live TV, live radio, thousands of hours of video on demand, weekly Gleaner, events, podcasts, and more. Simply log into onestopmedia.com and purchase the 6-month subscription plan. Get in with the joy of the holidays, all in one spot. Offer ends January 31. Conditions apply.
And that's
We have an update for you after the comments.
Okay. Well, let's go right to it.
Update on the patient and Dr. Difference. After the
Let's go. 20 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon as we continue our live broadcast from Little London Methodist Church in Westmoreland, one of I would say several health and health fairs. Yeah, right, it's five. And so we are continuing to highlight the work of JAHJAH Foundation, Jamaicans Abroad Helping Jamaicans at Home. And we're going to be getting an update as well with respect to the patient who well, maybe you can tell us, Patrice Gordon-Poyser. Go ahead, please.
Sure. So the patient who was recently transferred from our health fair that's going on right now to the Savalanamar Hospital. She's currently in the A&E department, and EKG is being done, but based on what they're seeing so far, she will be admitted for further treatment. And she was not transported in a taxi. Dr. Dixon, who cut his interview short, drove his vehicle to take her to the hospital to get treatment. Yes.
Thank you for the update.
So we're done with interviews for now.
All right. So, in terms of messages that have come in, I tried to go live on 2 platforms, Facebook and YouTube. Now, I think we've got more of YouTube than anything else. So the chatter there is usually limited as opposed to Facebook. So that's the reason why I'm not seeing those messages here right now. But Natalie Winter says, "Hey Dervan, big up from Washington Gardens, Kingston 20, Jamaica. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much." Sandra Glasgow says, "I don't care." All right. Petro E says, "Mr. Malcolm, you have such a beautiful smile." Uh-oh. That's very kind of you to say. Oh dear. Please smile more often. Your face lights up like a beam of light when you smile. Oh dear. I'm in trouble now. Oh wow. No, thank you very much. You're all very kind. Especially Petro E. Thank you. All right, so the skies are nice and clear, but conditions feel and appear as if there's some, okay, maybe coming from a different direction. But we'll see how it goes for the rest of the afternoon as we continue here on your program, both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And
Victoria.
Lily, who's this? Lily, well, Lily, let's just say hi to Lily, who is online as well. Thank you very much. And once again, we want to thank the sponsors and partners with the JAHJAH Foundation, the American Friends of Jamaica, Catherine Speak, Grace Foods, Cuckoo's Place, Springboard Incubators Inc., Travelers Resort, St. Thomas Renaissance Foundation, Jam West Beach Club, Cornerstone, Dennis Shipping, and Colgate. The partners on board with JAHJAH Foundation, Jacobi Medical Center, Global Ultrasound Institute, Negril Chamber of Commerce, the Ministry of Health, the Western Regional Health Authority, as well as the Southeastern Regional Health Authority, and of course, Power 106 FM. And looks like we're going to be speaking with Victoria Meisel, registered nurse. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
All right, good to see you, good to talk with you. And somebody says, nice program following from Kenya. Have a lovely day. Now, isn't that something? That's nice to know. That's nice to know. Gigi, that's nice to know. Hey Dervan, where is it? Nice program following from Kenya. Have a lovely day. Okay. So the Kenyans are listening. All right, so let's get to it. And hold on, let's make sure yes. Let's go right ahead. So it's good to talk with you, Victoria Meisel? Meisel. Victoria Meisel. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
And where are you originally from?
Darlington, Westmoreland. But I live in New Jersey.
Okay.
For several years, yes.
So share with us some of your fond memories of life in Darlington.
Oh, all happy times. I grew up there and I was very happy. It was very carefree. It's the best place in Westmoreland.
Wonderful. So how did you get involved with JAHJAH Foundation?
Well, I got involved with JAHJAH Foundation through a friend of mine. She introduced me to Dr. Dixon.
Yes.
And I was excited to join the group to come, and this is the first time I'm coming and experiencing all the good things that the team is doing for my people, for Jamaicans, and I'm all excited. Yes.
So of all the areas of choice, which one do you normally settle for as a member of the team, JAHJAH Foundation? Which area do you normally serve in?
Church. I'm not understanding.
Don't worry about it. It's just trying to get a feel of those areas.
I'm a triage nurse. Yes, I didn't understand. Yes.
Right. So that's the area you normally volunteer
in. Yes.
So for the uninitiated, for those who don't know, what is triage or triage?
Oh, when the patients come in, you do their vital signs and ask them questions and have them see the doctor.
So it's a case of just trying to make sure that emergencies are dealt with and
Yes.
other areas that pop up. Or,
Right. It's basically the first person that the patient sees before they go along to the doctor.
Okay. Right. And have you counted how many people you have seen?
No, it's numerous. I couldn't. But a lot.
And how was it? I mean, you know, there's this thing about some people don't like lines and to be standing in lines
Oh,
and so on.
I think everybody was receptive and was very nice about standing in line because we did it pretty fast and pretty effective.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you managed to get through most on most days, if not all days.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Wonderful. That's good news. So how was it for you? Were you able to take a bit of a break or so?
Oh yeah, we break from lunch. Yes. Yes.
And then straight back
And
to work?
straight back to work. Yes. We're here to do a job and we want to finish it.
Yes. Okay. Were you able to stop by in Darlington?
Not yet. I'll be going to Darlington on Sunday.
All right. Wonderful. Well, it's good to talk with you.
Too.
And thank you for the work that you continue to do.
Thank you.
All the best.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Best to
good.
you.
Thank you. Take care. Let's take a break and come back with more here on both sides of the story.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 4:30.
Tune in every Thursday at 3:30 p.m. for your legal corner with Taylor Walker Huntington. Doing both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm on Power 106 FM. It's your source of information regarding U.S. immigration
Let's
matters.
see.
Combined with Power 106 FM pioneer of faster broadcasting. Call in with your U.S. immigration claims and concerns on 8...
Joan Richardson says, greetings from cool and rainy Bermuda. God bless JAHJAH Foundation. God bless Power 106 FM family. Okay, thank you.
Thursdays at 3:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm. Only on Power 106 FM.
Both of them?
Yeah, one and then the other.
Okay.
And then so 17 and then 18. Or if you want to do them together, like a double, since they're in the same field, the same hospital.
Oh, I'm flexible.
Okay.
But together?
Yeah, separately. She's eating, so separately. Separately because she's eating.
Okay. All right, let's go. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Power 106 FM. ¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:28. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 5h. Well, let's leave it right there for the time being. Anyway. See what I did now? So bring in the language and now my brain goes in that direction. Sorry, let's come back. Let's come back to English for the time being. So, happy to have joining us right now, Dr. Pranali Chef.
Perfect.
Right, thank you very much for joining us. Emergency Medicine, Jacobi Medical Center in the Bronx, in New York. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. The long and short of it is that I'm very delighted to be a part of the experience and to share with our listeners all over the globe some of the stories of members of the team of volunteers. So this is not your first time, is it?
No.
Because that's a familiar face.
This is my second time with JAHJAH Foundation.
Yes. Okay. So what is it like? I mean, first time, second time?
It's interesting because the first time I came was in 2020, and so now 4 years later to come back, some of the projects we started in 2020 have completely come to fruition. And in 2020 it was just a meeting, ideas, brainstorming, and then you get here and, for example, the EMS program, now having an ambulance, having discussions about how do we build the program, build the curriculum, build the training is all happening. We have volunteers. And so it's just excellent to see the progress from then till now.
And to think this is not your day job that you're talking about.
This is not, but I think, I have worked in a lot of other similar settings, and I think one of the things that JAHJAH Foundation does an excellent job of is consistency and having sustainability in something like this. To have this many people consistently coming every year and growing the program every year is a tough feat, and I think JAHJAH Foundation does it so wonderfully.
All right, so are there similarities or differences between your first time and now your second time?
So some of the similarities are going to some of the sites that we had gone to the first time, but the differences are just seeing how much they've grown since the first time, which is excellent. And it's nice to see that there are some patients or volunteers that are consistently coming back, and they themselves are growing through this. They're learning more, they're becoming more advanced, and they've helped people because of this, so that's been excellent.
And have you had an opportunity to go out? Or, I mean, apart from the work that you've been doing here on location?
A little bit. I think by the time we get to the evening times, the team is very tired.
I can just imagine.
But it's nice to be able to watch the sunset, sit and be near the water, and just kind of be together and reflect on our days. So that's been a great team bonding experience.
Sounds like it's been quite therapeutic.
Yes, definitely.
All right, so when you leave here, to go back home, straight back to business. There are no breaks, are there?
Straight back to business. Straight back to the ER with a lot of the volunteers here. So I think it'll be kind of this group working again together back home. And I think it's amazing because 7 days feels like a short amount of time, but the amount that we've bonded over these 7 days is it's going to make a difference even in our work back home because of that.
Excellent. Well, keep going.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Good. Okay, thank you very much. That was Dr. Pranali Sheth, emergency medicine physician at Jacobi Medical Center in the Bronx in New York. And now we're going to have a word with Dr. Raisu. Riesu. Swishi. All right, so is this your first trip
Yes.
with JAHJAH Foundation, yes?
Yes, it's my very first trip with JAHJAH Foundation.
How did you connect?
I work with Dr. Dixon in New York. I'm one of the resident physicians at Jacobi.
Is he easy to work with?
I love working with him. He teaches a lot. He's really good with the ultrasounds, and it's a great time working with him.
Your area of specialization is exactly where you want it to be, or did you make changes as
Yeah.
you try to decide what exactly you wanted?
Yeah, I went into medicine wanting to care for the underserved, and I think there are many different ways you can do that. And emergency medicine is definitely one of the ways that we can serve a very diverse community, especially in the Bronx. And I want to do that globally as well, which is why I decided to come to Jamaica with the JAHJAH Foundation and how I got connected with Dr. Dixon as well.
And what has the experience been like?
Yeah, it's been amazing. As Pranali said earlier, it's really amazing to see an NGO grow like this, where they're very ingrained with the community, and people come to the health fairs to, continue to get checked by the doctors and the dentists and the OBGYN. And to be able to travel through Jamaica also is, amazing for me as a volunteer, but also the community to be able to see the foundation grow and continue kind of like throughout Jamaica.
Have you experienced any moment within the time that you're here in Jamaica that causes you to reflect or to think deeply?
Yeah, for sure. I think, before coming here, I wasn't exposed to Jamaican culture a lot, but just have read about it. And it's interesting also to see the disparity in the needs from Kingston versus, the other rural communities that we went to from Kingston to here. And I feel like Kingston and Negril is also very different. And so the disparity in the healthcare, access to healthcare, which is already low in this area, and seeing what the needs are. And, interesting to see how much of dental needs are, especially in communities like this, in addition to medicine and OBGYN and counseling and things like that.
I get the impression that as serious as the work is that you do, you still have a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a great community to be part of. I'm a first-year resident in the program, but I've been able to meet so many people from Jacoby, but also, who are really passionate about what they do in health and about Jamaica. And so it's a great community to be a part of and to, meet so many people from around the world.
Wonderful. So have you been able to enjoy any part of Jamaica yet in terms of an experience?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely need to come back to, fully enjoy it.
As a child.
Yeah, I love the mountains and I love the water, but we are pretty tired when we come back because we work so hard during the day. But we've been able to go to the beach and enjoy the sunset or seeing the stars. So it's been really nice.
Excellent. It's been nice talking with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. She can say Japanese. Sayonara.
Sayonara.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Take care. This is... Yes, indeed. We're continuing with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Coming up to just about 19 minutes to 5 o'clock. 19 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Little London Methodist Church. This is the venue for one of 5 health fairs that have been held by the JAHJAH Foundation, Jamaicans Abroad, helping Jamaicans at home. And for those of you who have been listening from the start, you would get a sense of some of the things that have happened behind the scenes and otherwise, and intersecting with the healthcare matters and with this health fair that has been going on all day here at Little London Methodist Church. And so we want to really thank the American Friends of Jamaica, Catherine Speak, Grace Foods, Cuckoo's Place, Springboard Incubators, Inc., Travelers Resort, St. Thomas Renaissance Foundation, Jam West Beach Club, Cornerstone, Dennis Shipping, Colgate, the partners, Jacoby Medical Center, Global Ultrasound Institute, Negril Chamber of Commerce, the Ministry of Health, Southeastern Regional Health Authority, Western Regional Health Authority, Friends of Ulster Spring, and of course, Power 106. Oh, we are going to have a word with Karen Shields and Patrice Gordon Poison. These are the ladies who cause moving and shaking. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but one of the
they defend JAHJAH Foundation.
Moving and shaking for change in healthcare in Jamaica. We'll at
Absolutely. Well, my job is done then. You can both have the microphone.
Well, good afternoon, listeners.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Dervan. I just want to say, Dr. Dixon's one of his favorite things that he likes to say is God don't make mistake. And I think what has happened this week speaks to that. This is the first time we've been across the island, and this is the fourth situation we've had where there's an emergency and we have had to render aid. We have had to transport patients to the hospital. The ambulance is sitting there and cannot be cleared. And I think these things are happening to remind us and to highlight this issue, that it's a very bad situation to know that the ambulance is there and we can help people, and because of bureaucracy and just things that are unnecessary things, we are unable to assist. And that is the main thing that I want to say and bring today, because it's unacceptable. And we're calling on whoever it is that needs to make that decision to assist us so we can get the ambulance. So please speed it up. We need it. 4 emergencies this week. Please.
Well said. JAHJAH Foundation, the 1 year that I've been really following and volunteering with JAHJAH, one thing that I can say is that JAHJAH Foundation is very authentic. If they say they're going to do something, they do it, right? Because I know Dr. Dixon takes his word very seriously. He's a man of his word. He doesn't make promises that he does not intend to keep. And by virtue, anybody that's a part of JAHJAH carries that same thing. Now, an ambulance was promised. Funds were raised by people in the diaspora who contributed their money to buy an ambulance, the first one. And it is, as Karen said, unacceptable that since August of 2023, that ambulance has been on the island, but it has not been accessible to the people who need it because of bureaucracy, for lack of a better word, right now. And people donated their money to buy this ambulance because they want to help to serve those in need, such as the lady today who we were told to put her in a taxi and send her to the hospital. So these are frustrating points for those of us living in Jamaica and in the diaspora. We are willing to do our part because we know that funding may have been an issue. And so we are willing to put up our money that we work for to help the people in Jamaica. And therefore, when we go to the different extents that we have gone to and that we're willing to go to, I think that it really is only right for those in the different positions in Jamaica, in the government, to help to just tie the whole process together, to bring aid to those who need it, whether it's us sending supplies in to help with these missions when we get here, or shipping things in without us physically being here to use those products. I just think that the process can be augmented. Some of those rules I have read and they're very archaic. They need to be updated. Elections are coming up, and not to be too political, but there's an election process for a reason. People are supposed to be voted in for a reason, and the main reason should be to help to develop the areas in which the constituents in which they are elected to run. And so I'm calling on Jamaicans, if they're not doing their jobs, they work for you, not the other way around. And healthcare is one of those areas that need to be better. It's not a question, it needs to be better. And JAHJAH Foundation can do so much more. And with that, we're just asking, as Karen said, we're not bad up nobody right now, we're asking politely to just do your part. We're not here to bribe anybody. We shouldn't have to. We're all genuinely doing our part to contribute. So meet us in the middle. We're even willing to meet you beyond the middle, honestly. And if it is that a conversation or conversations need to be had, I'm sure the JAHJAH team, they've been open to have the necessary conversations to see how processes can be augmented to ensure that JAHJAH can continue to fulfill its vision and its promise to the people of Jamaica, living in Jamaica and those within the diaspora who have been looking for ways to help. And I'll tell you this, Dervan, I mentioned authenticity earlier. I've been living in America for 22 years now. I've always wanted to help, but I've never been willing to send my money to certain big organizations who promise to go to Jamaica and other third world countries, so to say, because I have not physically seen evidence of what they've promised to do. And so within the year that I've known JAHJAH, I've seen things that they've done before I became involved, and I've seen even no more so firsthand what they have been doing and what they're capable of doing with the right support from the local leaders.
Okay. Thank you very much, Patrice. Back to Karen.
Yes. I also, while we're saying this as well, I want to still thank a few persons. And as Patrice said, we are not here to beat down anyone. We just want them to meet us halfway. The ambulance cost us $38,000 US. And the duty on the ambulance originally that we were quoted was $27,000 US. And if you think about it, how close is that to buying another ambulance? So why should we waste money to pay duties when we can use that money more effectively to purchase another ambulance and therefore be able to help more persons? So please, again, we are pleading to whomever it is to assist us. And before I go, I just want to thank a few persons. I know we've been thanking our sponsors, and we do have to work with partners. We've been talking about the Ministry of Health, and there are some, special persons who we have to liaise with to coordinate and get the mission going. And I really want to say a special thanks to Ms. Phyllis Hall in the Ministry of Health, Ms. Walker, Dr. Marcia Graham, who is the Medical Officer for Health for the Parish of Westmoreland, Dr. Diane Dale. She is the medical officer for the parish of Trelawney. Also, I want to say thanks to the Chamber of Commerce, Mrs. Elaine Allen Bradley, the president. There are some persons on our team too. I want to say a big thank you to our drivers. They have been very capable and efficient and patient, and been taking us safely from one point to the other. And I want to big up Richard and Errol McBean this afternoon. I also want to say a big thank you to Patrice Gordon-Poyser, who has come on board in the last few months, and she has really made a difference. She embodies the theme of what we're doing here, the mission for change. She's really made a difference, and I hope that she sticks with us. And this is me blasting you now, Patrice, to say, stay on board with us. We're happy to have you, and thank you for what you do. And thank you to all our volunteers, all our sponsors, all our supporters for, supporting the JAHJAH Foundation. You are the ones that help us to make these things happen, the help that we're giving to the people in Jamaica. So thank you to everyone.
Great, thank you.
And thank you, Dervan.
That's fine. Well done, Karen Shields, as usual, telling it like it is. As we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Oops, I think we need to take a break. Let's take the break and come back. 4:52 in the afternoon here in Little London, Westmoreland.
Power 106 FM, the digital sound, now reaching even more ways. Listen to us on 106.1 to 106.9 on the FM band. You can also listen to us on the Power 106 FM app, which you can download on the Google Play Store or the App Store. Plus, listen to us on onestopmedia.com and the One Stop Media app, or log on to go-jamaica.com. Power 106 FM with all views content done, giving you powerful talk radio from the way, on air and online.
I want to get what I was waiting on.
Oh, you want to move this?
Yeah.
Oh.
So he can just come and just leave it possible.
Hold on. But it's plugged out now.
This plug right here?
Yeah.
You know?
No, you can't just put it in.
After the two back just in time, wrap up. 5 minutes to wrap up.
So you can. Yeah, you can back up. Yeah.
Let me iron everything with a minute.
Oh, you got the clear, all clear? Watch your back.
Yeah, for about a few more minutes, right?
It's a 3 minute interval.
3 minutes, close it off.
3 minutes for the song. Yeah, man, I know, that's what you said.
Ladies, sir.
But this one, this needs to come out. I remember you have the boxes on top. I'll stand by to queue up the song for the last 3 minutes.
You should come up here because if I'm moving, I'm going to run out of time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good to go.
Yeah, bring it up here.
Hold on. See if we can pick you up in this.
Can you extend the legs out?
Hmm?
Can you extend the legs out?
Yeah, that is possible. You have to pull
It's okay.
forward.
5 minutes left. I'll hold it.
4 minutes.
4 minutes. It's level, look if it's level. Dervan, look if it's level.
Yeah. We need to get Dr. Dixon in the picture. Okay. Let's go studio. Just about getting ready to wrap today's special edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and we've been spending the afternoon here at Little London Methodist Church in Little London, Westmoreland, and it's all a part of celebrating the work of JAHJAH Foundation and their team of volunteers as they continue to play their part. And here's another example of how the level of commitment that the members of the organization engaged in. It's quite evident. Dr. Dixon has had a very hectic day and still managed to get back to us before we wrap the program, which is in another 3.5 minutes or so. Dr. Dixon.
Yeah, I just want to thank you and the listeners of Power 106 for their support over the years. I want to thank all the volunteers. We have a lot of volunteers. Some of the volunteers are here. Some of them couldn't make it this year, and some of them are supportive and responsible. I just want to thank everyone. And I just want to highlight that when we spend so much energy trying to do something that is needed and that's quite obvious to us all, it just means that other areas we can improve in that suffers, that becomes more of a deficiency. There's a lot of issues here, and if we could just cross this hurdle, you know, and we speak about the ministry, we speak about partnership. I mean, there are people in the ministry who are trying to make this happen. Mr. Courtney Cephas, he is trying to help, you know, to help us. Mr. Courtney Cephas, you know, I want to give a shout out to him. But it seems that it's just an issue where people can't wrap their head about what we're doing. This has never happened in Jamaica before, where a volunteer NGO wants to start a volunteer EMS system within a community. So I understand it's new and it's different, but the definition of insanity is to keep doing things the same way and to expect a different result. So we at the JAHJAH Foundation, we're trying something different. No, we don't just want to give an ambulance to the ministry, because we understand that the constraint that the ministry work in, they have to bring an ambulance to another area when another area is deficient. We want this community to have a stable EMS system, and if this is successful, we can reproduce this anywhere in the island. And there are other organizations who will be willing to follow our blueprint and reproduce this throughout the island. So if the government is serious, then give us this waiver. And we don't just want this waiver for one-time waiver, because it's a system. Our intention is to bring 5, 6, 10 ambulances in the country and distribute them to the different fire brigades so we can work together. The community can work together with the ambulance system. So we can talk more about this. They know where to find me, the JAHJAH Foundation. Thank everyone for the support, and thank Power 106. This is an ongoing conversation. It's certainly not going to end here today.
Definitely not. Thank you so much. Well done. We salute and celebrate you and your team, Dr. Dixon, and wish you all the success that life has to offer. Take care.
As I said, one love, JAHJAH Foundation every time.
All right. That's it. Thanks, everybody. All that's left for us to do is to say thank you very much for making it both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. All things being well, both sides of the story returns Monday afternoon, 2 to 5. In the meantime, we'll catch you tomorrow morning somewhere, well, you have to listen to find out. Take care, everybody.
The preceding broadcast of both sides of the story from the JAHJAH Foundation's Mission for Change 2024
Thank you.
at the Little London Fellowship Church of God, Westmoreland, was brought to you by JAHJAH Foundation, Cornerstone Jamaica Inc., Wellington Dental, Community Meds Pharmacy, Cumberland Medical, Margins Pharmacy, and the Compassionate Care Medical Center.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful,
About
and
what?
credible. Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast
that
of
must
Radio
be on
Jamaica's
air.
news at 5.
Oh, okay. Which one? Little London Methodist Church? Okay. 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 I see. No, I remember you had told me about your generally speaking about your Westmoreland connection.
At 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 12 noon, and 5 p.m. Weekends at midday and 6 p.m. on Power 106 FM and online at onespotmedia.com and grow-jamaica.com.
Richard Flowers.
Download the Power 106 FM app and the One Spot Media app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for news whenever,
Thank you.
wherever at your convenience. Power 106 FM, powerful talk radio and news you can trust.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The police at the moment has ordered
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
into the seizure of rifles during a raid
Okay.
on an
Thanks for the
unregistered
call.
security company on the
Okay.
showground
Bye-bye.
in Clarendon. More on this report from the
The incident began about 10:30 last night along Waterman Street in Hayes, Clarendon. It's reported that a police team was conducting flag march in the area when they signaled a white...
Hmm?
You know the gentleman here.
That's you? That was near to the sign, wasn't it? In Mm.
That's what I said. That's why I said call them, right? Because they're going to take them and allow the system to work. That's what I'm
Everybody here, when the people say put down a taxi. So what's enough money to pay the tax now?
My own understanding, assessment, there is no inkling or indication that there's a cover-up. Because the postmark never really is very deep because of several
He disclosed that technology and the collection of forensic evidence assisted the police in their investigations. One of two building confrontation with the police in Bridget Thomas encounter this evening has been identified. He is Christopher Shearer, otherwise called Gamba. Deputy Commissioner of Police explains that Shearer was a prolific contract killer and was responsible for several murders, including those of Westmoreland siblings Henry and Kenisha Moody last year. Shearer was also implicated in several murders.
In fact, on Wednesday the 22nd of November 2023, he along with several of his cronies met and organized and executed a multi-million robbery in Westmoreland. On Wednesday the 29th of November 2023, again, he was involved in the shooting of Romy Taylor, 24 years old taxi operator of Hartford Westmoreland, who was also robbed of his Toyota Foxy motor. In fact, Taylor was murdered. 1 hour after that, he again was involved in another murder in Westmoreland.
Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitzgerald, he identified Shield as the man seen not revealed that the bodies of minor citizens in Chicago. Meanwhile, the murders were the last time Shield remains unidentified. Emmanuel Kelly, following the police chief, said the exchange of gunfire and firearms on the top. Police intelligence suggests they were on their way to commit a crime in another section of the capital, Westmoreland. 12 students of Methodist High School in St. Elizabeth and the driver of their bus were taken to hospital following a collision along the middle quarters main road this afternoon. Their injuries are not considered life-threatening. It's reported that sometime after midday, the coaster bus was transporting students to the Columbia High when it collided with a truck that was negotiating a new curve along the main road. The driver of the bus had to be removed from the vehicle by firefighters, while the driver of the truck was also taken to hospital. The bus driver and 2 of the students are still being treated at the hospital. Head of the St. Elizabeth Police Acting Superintendent Coleridge Pinto is urging the motoring public to ensure their vehicles are roadworthy. His comment follows a clampdown this morning on motorists who are in breach of the Road Traffic Act. Several drivers of mainly larger vehicles were issued with the summonses for varying breaches of the Road Traffic Act along the Pepper Main Road in St. Elizabeth. The police, transport and island traffic authorities conducted the operation below the border with Manchester. DSP Pinto says the crackdown was aimed at holding speeding members accountable.
We will continue this type of operation right across the parish to ensure that our motoring public, they are safe for the use of the roads. One truck that was seized earlier, the driver was issued on the 8th of January for driving an unlicensed vehicle. He's back on the road utilizing the same vehicle loaded with aggregate. And so this enforcement is to ensure that persons obey the law, and when they are so prosecuted, that they go and retrieve their respective tickets.
Head of the St. Elizabeth Police Acting Superintendent. Meanwhile, said the focus was on large units traffic down structure.
We ensure that the loads are secured, and that is one of the things that the officers have been checking to ensure that the loads are secured. We have situations where persons are, particularly those transporting steel, that are ex-employees, and we have been doing some prosecutions for some of those offenses. We do have effective vehicles. We've seen tires that are worn to the thread. We have seen persons for unlicensed motor vehicles, uninsured motor vehicles, and those are some of the common ones that we have seen since morning.
Thanks.
Head of the St. Elizabeth Police Acting Superintendent Coleridge Pinto. One truck labeled Evergreen received and scanned the license plate and some vehicles removed. Similar operations are ongoing in Santa Cruz and Blackrock. Clampdown